What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the RAS Project. Real stories from real humans. This is where we debunk the bullshit and fluff and talk about 100% proven tactics and strategies to help you grow your life and business. And I am Ivan Temelkov. Of course, I'm your host of the RAS Project. Welcome to the fresh episode. Today is Friday, December 17th. Got a lot that I want to cover and talk about. But before we jump into, excuse me, the topic of this episode, I've got one favor to ask. Did you find value in this episode? Did you find value in past episodes of the Roz Project? If so, please tell others about the Roz Project. You can subscribe anywhere on the internet to follow, watch, listen, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Pandora. You can also sign up on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/Ivan Temelkov. And you can check out some past episodes of the Roz Project there and future episodes. Today's topic of this episode is dun 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 how to up your game with social media video. That is what I'm going to talk about in this episode. And before we dive into that topic, though, I've got a quick announcement to make. I'm very excited about an upcoming guest next week, I believe, or the week after that, who has an amazing story about what she's doing, how she found her purpose, and how it's impacting the world. And what's really crazy is that uh, just the way this introduction, um, you know, kind of came together, was that I got reached out via email through a representative of hers. And long story short, I found out that she is right here in my neighborhood in St. Louis, Missouri. And she's an entrepreneur, a fanpreneur. So I'm pretty excited about having her on the show to share her story. Um, so, with that being said, again, today's topic of the episode is how to up your game with a social media video. And let's go ahead and jump right in. First of all, why social media video? Why should you use social media video? Nearly 90% of people on social media watch videos, specifically Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, even Twitter has made some strides into the social video game. And the reason for that is because, video is simply far more engaging, far more informative, and relatable because people feel connected to the person. They feel connected to, who's sharing the information. And, you know, the reason why I wanted to share this with you guys is because in 2020, I was able to generate over $100,000 in gross revenue for my company, Razor Sharp Digital, with primary focus on social media video and personal branding. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this episode, because if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a go-getter, if you're a business owner, obviously any and all of the above, and you're not using social media video, you're missing out on a huge chunk of the pie, so to speak. And in fact, social media video is becoming even more intricate to utilize as part of your marketing initiatives as a company, as a brand, and regardless whether you are a personal brand, someone who's just trying to build thought leadership, or you're an actual business. You have an actual business, because for both, for instance, influencers have built, their influence primarily with social video. A huge part of that influence was built with social media video. And a lot of these influencers, especially some of the high caliber ones, how they've been able to accomplish that is that they were early adopters in the social media video space, and they were able to harness things that most people just didn't see value in. So again, this episode is on how to up your game with social media video, and I'm sharing specific things that I have done to be able to generate over $100,000 in gross revenue in just 1 year for my company, Razor Sharp Digital, a human marketing agency, where the vast majority of the efforts that were put forth was actually social media video under my personal brand, Ivan Temelkov. So here's a few things I want to share with you, okay? And this isn't in any specific order by any means. All these things are things that I did that are attributed to the success that I was able to generate, and hence why I am talking about this today in this episode of the RAS project, in hope to help you if you need help on the social media video front. You might be doing some things, or you're not doing any of these things that I'm about to share with you, but to help you understand the intricacy of doing this. It's a social video game. It's a social video world. If you want to build thought leadership influence, if you want to build relationships with people, if you want to generate more prospects, it's a video game. So as I mentioned, there's a lot of social networks like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, even Twitter. I never really got into the TikTok game, to be honest with you, but there's huge, huge, huge potential there. And you can utilize some of the fundamentals I'm about to share with you. I'm going to start with Instagram. So, Instagram was probably one of the most fruitful platforms for me for a period of a year, where I was able to, build influence and build thought leadership. And look, I get it. A lot of people are camera shy, man. I get it. There's a lot of people out there that don't want to get on video. But you got to understand that, unless you overcome certain fears, you're not going to be able to generate different results. And so Instagram was probably the most fruitful for me. And what I did on Instagram is that, for one, I posted several stories per day on my personal profile, posting a reel every other day. So actually, reels just became popular. And so now actually doubling down on that. But posted a pre-recorded video once or twice per week on my Instagram feed. In 2020, and actually in 2021 as well, a lot of the social video that I had posted was actually on my news feed. So I would post it on my Instagram profile. It'd be about a minute or less long, and just focus on interest, focus on sharing value. Consider doing IGTV once per week. IGTV is still a huge untapped area of potential, and I've seen a lot of people actually who have been able to harness IGTV and being able to utilize it to build influence and thought leadership and awareness around themselves or their business. Go live on IG if possible once or twice per week. This is important because using the platform's native tools will always give you a boost, because Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, they want you to use their built-in tools. And so they give you credit. The algorithm will give you credit when you are actually utilizing their native tools, like Facebook Live, specifically going live on the Facebook app from your mobile phone. That's going to give you a boost, in terms of awareness. So those were things that I did on Instagram. On Facebook, post a video once or twice on your personal profile wall daily. And look, we've got some clients with my company, Razor Sharp Digital, that we manage their Facebook business page, and we've seen huge engagement. But I think personally, and also for Razor Sharp Digital, we post content, but a huge part of the social video is actually under my personal profile. Simply because the organic reach on Facebook is very, very low, and actually the organic reach under your personal profile, uh, at least for 90% of people, is higher than your business page. Now, I have seen exceptions to this. I have seen some Facebook business pages, they get some high organic engagement and reach, but they're only few in between. So again, post a video once or twice on your personal profile, wall daily on Facebook. Share several stories on your story daily. I talk about my day. I share value about marketing and building a community. Use the native Facebook Live feature to go live and connect with your audience. I mentioned that just a second ago. I see a lot of people who do lives, and I even do it. Like right now, we're actually multicasting across multiple platforms. And that is really the only reason why I'm not going live on Facebook Live. But, that's something that you guys need to consider doing. It definitely has merit. Use the new Reels feature, but be mindful that this is capped at 30 seconds. So, a lot of people don't know that there's Facebook Reels and there's Instagram Reels. So, Facebook Reels are actually capped at 30-second length. But what I've noticed just by testing a few reels, you can easily get a few hundred views on a Facebook reel easily. If you're someone who has a very engaging friend list, chances are you could get thousands, or tens of thousands even. It just all depends on your content, your network also. But nonetheless, utilize the Facebook Reels feature to help you gain some momentum. Um, LinkedIn, for me, LinkedIn was very, very beneficial. I could say that I got lucky. Excuse me. I could say that I got lucky and was able to generate about $30,000 worth of revenue on LinkedIn just over a period of 2 months. And how I did that is posting a pre-recorded video a couple of times per week, and then utilizing LinkedIn Live. Obviously, if you're eligible, if you're not, look into applying for LinkedIn Live. And as of right now, we're actually streaming on LinkedIn Live as part of this multicast. But LinkedIn was very fruitful to me, and I was posting, like I said, a pre-recorded video a couple times per week, mixing it up with some more static content, and then obviously LinkedIn Live with the RAS project, like we're doing right now, multicasting. YouTube. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I've had a love-hate relationship with YouTube for a better part of 10 years, 10 plus years, and but have finally really doubled down and found what works, and I want to share with you. First of all, you have to understand that YouTube is first and foremost a long form video platform. People go to YouTube because they want to watch something specific. So finding a niche for yourself, for your business, is extremely important. What is that niche? And ideally you want to post one new video daily. I know it sounds time consuming, but that's what you have to do. You have to feed the algorithm, for most people. I mean, you might be, like an influential YouTuber like Casey Neistat, and post like one video per week or every 2 weeks and still get, millions of views. But the reality of things is that, Casey has spent years and years where he published regular video in order to be able to build up that traction and momentum, and ultimately be able to build an audience, a loyalty. So, but for most people, that's not the case. So, post one new daily video on YouTube. And actually, right now, we're in the midst of Vlogmas, I believe. And, that's a very old YouTube tradition, and something that a lot of serious vloggers are utilizing. Utilize the new YouTube Shorts. It's very much like stories. It has huge, huge untapped potential. And I'm telling you, because, just by playing around with it, recently, I've been able to get upwards to 5, 6,000 views, very easily on the short, which is the equivalent of a story on Instagram or Facebook, obviously. And then ensure that all your videos are optimized. On YouTube, it's very important. It's YouTube optimization, which is very similar to YouTube SEO. It is YouTube SEO in essence. So you have to make sure that your YouTube videos are optimized for discoverability. So I know I just mentioned Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. These are all platforms that I've personally utilized to be able to up my social media video game, generate over $100,000 in revenue for my company, Razor Sharp Digital, by primarily focusing on social video. And that's why I'm sharing this with you guys, because these are all things that I have done personally that I know work. And in fact, going into 2022, looking to really double down even more on some of these areas, because what I've found is, first of all, I've had a lot of people who have said, Ivan, you're probably one of the best people that I've ever seen when it comes to social media video. And I know I am. I think it was a matter of, self belief for quite some time. But when you see other people who actually attest to your capabilities, not to mention that they extract value from social media videos, then it was kind of like that validation that I was looking for, what I really wasn't looking for. And so, it's extremely time consuming to do all of this, and most people struggle or fail for one simple reason. Most people fail with social video or give up on it for one simple reason. It's consistency, ladies and gentlemen. Consistency. Hiring my company, Razor Sharp Digital, will help you alleviate that tension and ensure that your content is published regularly. Because here's the thing: consistency is winning, consistency in everything. And it's very basic psychology that if you're consistent with your social video, like I was, then you're going to be able to build awareness. You're going to be able to build recognition. You're going to be able to build new relationships. You're going to be able to build new conversations. But the challenge is that, first of all, most people think that it's a waste of time. Most people think that it doesn't have social video, does not equate to anything monetary, because they look at monetization from a very traditional sense where, let's say, I spend $5,000, and unless I get $5,000 in return immediately, then it's not something that I should monetize. Well, that's a short term thinking, and you need a long term thinking to invest, and know that if you invest $5,000 per month, and let's say for a period of 3 months, you do social video, you build a strategy, you implement it, you execute it, you nurture it, either for yourself or for your business, then the ROI behind that is going to be at least twice, if not three times, your investment. That is what we have seen traditionally for companies companies that we work with currently. And so I wanted to let you guys know that social video is a long burn. It's not something that you're going to see instant gratification in, but it covers a lot of things that, in fact, it's actually a whole lot cheaper than spending $20,000 per month on marketing. Because the reality of things is that these days, in a very noisy, saturated, competitive world, most companies are not spending enough on their digital marketing efforts, but are having huge expectations out of the efforts, when in reality they're not spending enough to get the results that they're looking for. So social video, is actually a very strategic, a very targeted approach to be able to build influence, to be able to build thought leadership, to be able to build relationships that can help you grow and thrive your personal brand and your business. And again, if you have any questions or you're interested about social video, hit me up on any of the social networks. You can also email me, like I mentioned earlier. If you got questions, I got answers, shoot me an email at ivan@razorsharpdigital.com, or reach out to me on any of the socials, and I'll be more than happy to chat with you. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the RAS Project, where we talked about how to up your game with social media video, whether you're a personal brand or a business. And if you got some value out of this episode, please let others know about the RAS Project. You can subscribe, follow, watch, listen anywhere you get your podcasts in the world, and on my YouTube channel as well. And once again, my name is Ivan Temelkov, your host of the RAS Project. And this was episode 163. Ladies and gentlemen, have a phenomenal rest of your Friday. Have an amazing weekend. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.